Well, welcome back to the Model Mat, everybody. You know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think the in-scale range from Bachmann is arguably one of the best model train ranges you can get for Thomas ever. That's not me saying they're exactly perfect. They do have their own little things. They're kind of cheaper models altogether. But that being said, they're some of the most accurate, they look amazing, and best of all, it seems to be consistent. They keep making new character. This is not a new character. Toby has been out for quite a while. But Gordon's on the way. Emily will be here soon. And I've had quite a bit of time to, get to know this Toby and look at it. So it's time for a review. Yeah, after talking about Percy and Thomas and James so much, I figured it was about time we took a look at Toby, since he's arguably one of the cheapest you can get from this range. I think Thomas is roughly 80 to 90, James probably like 115, Percy probably like Thomas 80 to 90. I got this guy for 60 bucks. That's pretty damn cool. Now, altogether, this video won't be a long one. I'm kind of just showing you the model, what I think of it, if I think it's worth it, and before anything, I figure we'll start with this box, since it's, what I usually do. But don't worry, we're not going to harp on it for too long. It is literally the exact same as every single other in-scale Thomas. Like, here's Scruffy. Here's a Scruffy box. Look, they're identical. Down to, this one actually says Toby, so maybe not identical, but yeah, besides that, everything is pretty much the same. They have copyright information and Thomas there on the back. It says Bachmann. The other side says In-Scale Thomas and Friends. You've got a large window that shows you the model on the front. And it kind of just opens like that, kind of like a case. And let's take a look at Toby. So, Toby is one I've customized a little bit, as you'll very, very soon see. He has a Classic Series face, because that's just something I do on all of my in-scale models. But I will say that the face this one came with didn't look too bad. It's very CGI oriented, so if that's something you're into or that you prefer modeling, you're not going to need to do this. But it's something I did just because, Train Store made the faces for me, and I think it makes it look a little bit more cute. And besides that, he also has a matte clear coat. So keep in mind, if you buy Toby right now, he'll have a different face and kind of a different finish. He'll be quite a bit more shiny. So overall, what do I think of the Bachmann in-scale Toby? I'm pretty impressed. I mean, they've managed to get quite a bit of detail here. The windows and the sides there, as you can see, are not open, but it's an in-scale train. They probably don't need to be. The molded detail looks absolutely amazing, down to the lamps. Sadly, everything here on the top is molded, like the bell, the little wire for that. But again, it's in-scale. I don't know, I kind of just expect that. Now, another thing I really appreciate are the cow catchers. As you can see there, there's not a huge hole for the coupler. It's just big enough to fit it and make them functional, and that is on both sides. It doesn't throw off the look at all, like it kind of does on the HO model. And though from this angle it's kind of hard to see, he even has side rods. His wheels are not painted red like the actual prop, but maybe that's something I'll go back and change one day. They even gave the chassis side rods, so I don't know, I just think that's pretty impressive. Now, when it comes to traction, Toby is definitely not the strongest, but I'd argue none of the in-scale Thomas trains are. They don't have traction tires. They're often not, the best pullers. So if you're getting this guy hoping he's a powerhouse, not really. I wouldn't say that. He is quite heavy, though. He definitely has a good weight on him. It's just a pretty neat model. Altogether, I would say this is definitely worth the money, especially if you're into in-scale like I kind of am more and more. And especially because Bachmann seems to be, pretty in with this line now. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Gordon and Emily are going to be out, probably within the next few months. Henry's coming soon. I definitely think they've kind of caught me on this in-scale bug. I mean, yeah, we have quite a bit of molded detail. I'm pretty sure that's the only detail here is molded detail, but it still looks good. For being this small, this is very impressive. And the modifications I did were simply because I wanted to. Again, as is, this model is very impressive. I've just had a little bit of time to customize this one and, test it out a bit. And you know me, I always got to do something special with my models, so yeah, there's my in-scale Toby. If we're going for detail, I'd definitely give this like a 7.5, maybe even a fresh 8. The window's not being cut out, and this, again, it's not a big deal. It's just the fact that everything's molded, but they still managed to get everything. Like, look, again, he's got a little lamp. He's got the funnel. It's all molded, but look at that top roof. Look at the cow catchers. Look at the wood plant. Like, this is a pretty well put together engine. Yeah, I'd say 8's pretty fair there. In terms of running, I'd give it maybe like a 6, because as you'll soon see, he's not very fast. And again, he's not very strong. It's not exactly perfect, but in terms of Bachmann and, in-scale, it's arguably as close as we're gonna get. And if you're doing in-scale Thomas and Friends, I think Toby is definitely not one to miss out on. Easily worth every penny. And keep in mind, when you get Toby, he might not be $60. I think I've seen him for like 75 to 82, kind of similar to Thomas and Percy. I'd still say that's pretty fair, especially for this much detail and it being this good out of box, or, you know, this easy to customize, and for looking this good, I'd say. So on the chance you ever find yourself, or maybe currently you're on the fence about the Bachmann N-Scale Toby, at least in my eyes, it's highly recommended. This is a bop of a little guy.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.